Minneapolis in 73, ZERPS in 2010, Bisphus Building, home of the next Canadian Stanley Cup winner, Jim Murray's house, and Peggy Ray's house. Write-in votes not cast in the first round include 100 Acre Wood, Ararat, Australia for Ratcon in '02 Worldcon Relaxicon, Kathleen Kennedy's Destruction of Dreams Dungeon, L5 Orbital Locus, New Zealand Do-Over, Nice, France, Online Virtual Convention, Paris, somewhere other than North America. So that's my report. I would like to move to destroy the physical site selection ballots.
Okay, and I'm going to, can we make that a motion to destroy the site selection ballots and thank the tellers? Okay, is there a second for that form? Okay, thank you. It has been moved and seconded to destroy the ballots and thank the site selection tellers. Is there any objection to doing so? Seeing none, it is so ordered and so thanked. Okay, at this point, we are going to move to the presentations and Q&As. So first of all, we will have Montreal come up and give their presentation. Congratulations and condolences on this thing that you're apparently going to do.
Thank you, Mixed Chairperson. So, hello everyone. I'm Darren Briskman. I also prefer he, him, and I am one of the co-chairs of Montreal 2027. With me is
Bruce Farr, co-chair, he, him, geezer, answered all sorts of stuff, and
hi everyone. Sabrina Pergas, the manager for the convention center, and she, her.
perfect. So we are absolutely committed to carrying on and enhancing the legacy of Worldcon. We greatly appreciate the honor of awarding this to 2027 in Montreal. Century. So we'll be holding this, of course, in with stable, and of course, Quebec has 70% of the global supply of maple syrup. So there will be maple syrup involved. So let's see if Martin is smart enough to figure out when to advance the slides. That's a hint, Martin. Thank you. So why are we there? One is Canadian. We're going to be focusing on Canadian content. Canada has had a tremendous influence and contribution. What a lot of people don't know. For example, did you know that Superman was first drawn in Canada? So we'll be talking about a whole lot of things. But we'll also be talking about things that are not Canadian. For example, 2027 is the 100th anniversary of the first science fiction feature film, Metropolis. So we'll be talking about Metropolis, and for that matter, it's the 50th anniversary of Star Wars and some other important science fiction pieces. So we'll be talking a lot about film and about the community. You're going to make friends and meet friends. This is where you go for a great city and a great place for people you already know and new friends for you to meet. And have fun. Joie de vivre. We're going to have a great time. So, very quickly, we'll talk a little bit, so the leadership of our bid. Next slide. So you've seen myself and Bruce. There sitting in the center is Angela Jones, who has been our vice chair and has, among other things, hooray, Angela, has put together an awesome PR Zero, which Diane will now start handing out. So if I get boring, you can read that. And then a bunch of people on our bid committee. All right, go. So a few words about Montreal. It is a great city to have a convention. Keep going. It's the French door to North America. It's only, it's less than 50 miles away from the US border at Plattsburgh and other places. About 4.5 million people, second largest city in Canada. It's not just French and English. There's over 140 languages spoken in Montreal. So it is a really cosmopolitan place. Keep going. It's an easy place to get to between airport and rail and other connections. So as people are always interested, next. Lots of international connections directly there. These are the prices from this month. Who knows what the prices will be in a year. Many direct connections from various places in the United States. So an easy place to get to for people around the Finnish community. Going on, or if you're in the Northeast or the North Central, you can drive in a reasonable amount of time. So about 6 hours from major Northeast cities, about 12 hours from Chicago. After which you'll get to spend 6 to 12 hours looking for a parking place in Montreal. Actually, I'll put this as an aside. There is a lot of parking under the Palais de Congrès, where we'll be holding the event, and they allow overnight secure parking. So if you are driving, you have someplace reasonably priced to keep your car. Keep going. Very much, Montreal as a city, and of course, we as a convention are very committed to people with mobility challenges not having a challenge being included. We have a great total access. There are ramps easy to get to. Our hotels are all directly across one street. So, no long hikes uphill both ways to hotels that we will need. So it really is great. Am I casting aspersions on, I'm not casting aspersions on any city, but I do remember walking a lot between my hotel and the Glasgow Convention Center. So, but yeah, we cannot ask for a better place, but we'll look at that in a moment. Very inclusive, keep going. Very inclusive place, people are friendly, people are warm. And, continue. Next slide. There we go. Lots of stuff to see. The convention center is right in the middle of a great place in town. It is adjacent to the old town, where there are all sorts of things from the 16th century and ongoing. Places you've probably seen in films because it stands in for anybody who wants to film something in London or Paris or whatever in the late Renaissance or early modern times. But it's also right next to Chinatown. And it's also right next to the Quartier des Spectacles, so all sorts of art and other things there. Moving on. Lots of festivals, events, and nightlife, including, of course, now Worldcon. But if you want to come a little earlier, stay a little late, there's lots of other stuff to see and do because September is a festival season. The average temperature there is 22, or for those of you who are Americans, about 70 degrees. So a little cooler than Seattle this week, but comfortable. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Palais de Congrès, the convention center. The center itself is a work of art. It's right in the middle of downtown. 5,300 restaurants within 15. Well, it's not 5,300 on that map. In Montreal, there's over 100 restaurants within a 10-minute walk of the convention center. Everything from cheap Chinese street food to Michelin-starred, not cheap, but really, really good food, and all the stuff in between. As well as free public Wi-Fi throughout downtown. And, and for that matter, we're also committed to having high bandwidth available to everyone in the convention center, which we'll be able to do because they just upgraded that and we'll be able to make use of it. Keep going, please. So it's been around. Those of you who went to Anticipation and joined us in 2009, it's the same building, but it's been upgraded since. So to show a little bit of what's in there, keep going. Level 1 has, exotic restaurants like Tim Hortons, or as it's known in Montreal, des Maisons des Whopper, if you want to get a burger.
We have gone over the time for the presentation, so if I give you 90 more seconds, do you think you'd be able to?
90 seconds. All right, go, hit it. Go fast. So look, we have a lot of meeting space. All right, keep going. 47 conference rooms, 3,600 room main theater, next slide, and then 2 additional 1,000-person rooms above that, as well as about 70,000 feet. Lots of public space to hang out and do stuff for comfortable chairs, next slide, swings, tree houses, all sorts of interesting places to sit around and chat with your friends. All right, and then finally, let's talk about accommodations. So hotels. We have numerous numerous 3 and 4 star hotels, all within one block of the convention center. We do have already, well, technically not contracts, but documents in place that we're looking about $289 a night US for the 4-star hotels and $181 for the 3-star hotels, as well as a room block of over 1,300 and dozens of mobility accessible rooms. Yes. That's my big reveal at the end. So as we go forward, happy to announce that we have 4 guests of honor that we can announce today, who I don't have pictures of, but they are on the progress report, or 3 of them are. Excuse me, I will. So Joe Walton, who is a great, Joe deserves a round of applause for those who don't know. Author of 15 books, with the 16th coming out next year, Hugo and Nebula winner, and just a really nice person. When we asked her to be our guest of honor, she immediately responded, "Are you joking me?" So, but certainly someone deserved. Also, Yves Menard. For those who don't know Yves, he is quite a prominent English and French author of fantasy and science fiction, author and editor. We're also one that's not in the progress report, Jeff Jakes, who is a science fiction and fantasy web cartoonist, and you should look his stuff up if you've not. And then one more I'm going to mention, who is Chris Barkley. So yeah. So, Mixed Chairman, may Chris have 2 to 3 minutes. May Chris have 2 to 3 minutes to say a few words. All right. So.
First of all, I'd like to announce that the state of Ohio has now been annexed by Canada, making me officially a Canadian content. I'm going to do something I thought I'd never do, which is make a speech off my phone. I'm just going to do it in English. I was going to do it in French, but I was told that we're not going to do any speeches. But hello and good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank the Montreal and 2027 Committee for selecting me for this profound honor of being a Worldcon guest of honor. I hope that my selection as a guest will not only be an inspiration to SFF fans around the world, but as a bridge of friendship between my home country of the United States and the great nation of Canada as well. I also apologize for my atrocious French accent, and I hope to greatly improve upon it between now and the start of the convention. I wish you all well, and we look forward to seeing everyone in Montreal. Merci beaucoup.
Merci, Monsieur Barclay. And now.
Okay, so thank you for that presentation. So we are now going to move to a time for questions. So we'll have 10 minutes for this. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and our lovely floor manager, Chris, will bring you the microphone. So I believe Mr. Blog has a question. If you can bring the microphone over there. And please do still state your name and your pronouns if you feel comfortable when you're asking questions. Yeah. One moment. You just make sure the mic is on, Plug. Here. Please don't do that again. Not cool.
Gary Blog, I thought you said 4 guests you were going to name today.
All right. So yes, we did announce 4, but to repeat them: Joe Walton, Yves Menard, Jeff Jakes, and Chris Barkley. And there will be more.
There was a question unanswered from the future Worldcons. We want to give the dimensions of chairs. Just a second.
So you asked the question, I have the answers for the chairs. The seats left to right are 16 inches, front to back 17 inches. The width is 14.5 inches. The height seat to top is 19 inches. Overall height is 33 inches. Width at base is 20 inches by 20 inches. So we can fit everyone, accommodate everyone. And if we can't, we will make it happen.
So So for those of you who are in costumers, you now have all the information you need to create a Montreal Convention Chair costume for future Worldcons.
Okay, in the back, Ms. Secor, I believe. Please don't run, you can walk quickly.
Kate Secor, she, her. What are your plans for bilingual programming? Because I see all your materials are already bilingual. Are you planning on running actual programming in multiple languages?
We will have some sessions which will be in French with translation to English and vice versa. We're working with some fan groups and individuals in Montreal to expand the amount of translation ability, et cetera. But yes, traditionally for Montreal Worldcon, we do have some sessions in French. The overwhelming will be accessible in English. In fact, I'd say probably all of them with translation.
We are hoping to also have a few sessions, at least in First Nations languages. And all of these, of course, will also have translation to French and English.
Okay, thank you. And then in the, right in front of Kayla. I literally can't, I could only see the hand.
Yeah. This is a question for the person connected with...
Can you please state your name?
Winton Matthews. This is a person connected with the convention center, and I am having to use a walker to get around. Does your convention center have elevators on either side of the building as opposed to this convention center, which has elevators only on one side of the convention center?
Yes, we do. We have accessibility on the second floor and the fifth floor, as well as the seventh floor as well, too. And we have from the left to the right, the east and the west. So we do have accessibility throughout the whole convention center.
Okay, on the left in the striped shirt. Sorry, my left.
No worries. Quick question. I think I saw
Can you
that.
please state your name?
Thank you. Dave Hook, he, him. I think I saw that the convention is going to be in September. When are you going to have dates? Are they? Okay. I missed that. Thank you.
Well, the dates that we will be on site in Montreal is September 2nd through 6th. But we're also going to have an extensive online program that will begin in January and go all the way through the year. So we'll have lots of activities and things to do, but of course the bulk of them will be during that Labor Day weekend. So that's Canadian Labor Day weekend, but that also happens to be the same weekend as the US Labor Day weekend.
Did we have another question? Yeah, okay.
Trish Matson, she, her. A lot of people watching the bid process were aware that there was turmoil of leadership, but not really clear on what was going on. And also, looking at the website, it seemed to be lying fallow for a long time. Could you talk to us about the stability of your leadership going forward and updates that we're going to be getting on the website and stuff like that?
And before you answer, can you please state your name again?
Trish Matson,
Thank you.
she, her.
Yes, there was a little bit of internal turmoil, which we worked to address over the past month or so. I think successfully, at least we hope so. And we set a lot of things in motion to ensure that things stay that way for the future. So we were aware of it. We acted as quick as we could. And we do promise to keep good information on the website. A lot more content will, of course, occur over the coming days.
Indeed, immediately after this meeting, we'll be updating the website, as it won't be a bid website anymore. And for that matter, we'll be, as soon as this meeting is over, certainly no later than noon, we'll be selling memberships on the second floor at our table.
Okay, Ms. Sullivan up in the front with the Moby. You're gonna have to walk a little faster, Glug. No, walking does not count against your time. It never has. No, Jerry Sullivan,
Oh, Jerry, yeah, there.
as opposed to Linda, whose last name is not Sullivan.
Yeah, I was like, who is this? Oh,
Jerry Sullivan, she, her. I'm wondering about, because you're on Labor Day weekend, I know back in 2012, ChiCon 7, which was on Labor Day weekend, coordinated and worked with DragonCon to do some cross-programming and some shared stuff. I also know that one of the higher-ups from DragonCon came to the NASFIC last year in Buffalo and specifically sought out the bid to talk about what might be able to be done. So I'm wondering, are you already working with DragonCon? Do you plan to work with DragonCon? Thank you.
So one of the things you might not know about me is way back in the 1980s, I was a student at Georgia Tech and one of the founders and creators of DragonCon. So we have quite a few connections with the DragonCon organization. Nothing formal yet, but we are certainly be talking with them and others. And indeed, while we're focused on the legacy and the future of Worldcon, we want to be inclusive with the entire community. But yes, you will have to choose between going to DragonCon and going to Montreal, as they will be on the same day as in 2027.
Okay, I see two, okay, so the gentleman in the white shirt.
Patrick Malloy, he, him. Just wondering if you've decided about the scheduling and the format of your business meetings, if you're going to have them virtually before the convention or not.
We're studying what's happening at this convention, and we'll be doing so, of course, with LA too, and we'll make a very deliberate decision on that after we see how they both go.
We are committed to having a full schedule and plan for the 2027 business meetings by the end of 2026. So we want to see how, we want the feedback from how it went here. We also want to see how things go the way LA will handle it.
Okay. Over on y'all's right with the hat. Oh, they're both wearing hats. Sure, we'll do the person who stood up and then the other person. Sorry. Yeah.
Yep, you.
Yes, you first, and then Alan Bond.
Linda Robinette, she, her. I am really enjoying the guidebook program that we have at this particular convention for looking at our schedule on our phones and other devices. What do you plan on using?
We will certainly have an online accessible guidebook of some sort. We haven't committed to the brand name or such, but something of that sort will be available.
Okay, and then, yep.
Alan Bond, they, them. My question is, have you made outreach to organizations in the Global South, such as the African Science Fiction Society and the Chilean Science Fiction Society and other organizations that might be partners?
So the short answer there is not yet, but that's certainly in our plans. Similar to reaching out to a number of librarian organizations, First Nations organizations, others that, so we're looking to reach both to global fandom and also to expand the reach of fandom into people who read but might not be aware that we exist. So this is absolutely in our plans. But so far, we haven't done so. We were waiting to see if the community would honor us with this award, which has now happened.
Okay. Thank you. And Olaf, how are we doing on time?
We have used up.
Here, you can just tell me and I can repeat it.
We have used up 7 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay, so we've used up 7 minutes and 13 seconds, so we have a little under 3 minutes remaining. Okay, in the red shirt.
Well, normally it would be customary to
Can you
have a
please state your
slide.
name?
Tammy Coxon, she, her. We didn't have a slide for the guests of honor. The other thing that was missing is typically there would be a slide with the committee. Can you name any of your division heads? Have those people been picked yet?
So we have an almost full set of division heads. There's one that's not there. Rather than rattle through them here, those will be available on the website within a few days.
Okay. In the back in the black shirt.
Cliff Dunn, who's your MPC rep?
Should we go ahead and announce it? Diane Lacey is our MPC rep.
Did you catch that? Okay, MPC stands for the Mark Protection Committee. For those unaware, seated Worldcons get to send a rep there. That's what the question was about. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, yep. As a reminder, if you can't see me, I can't see you.
Gary Blog again. How much of your programming on site will be streamed, and to the person, for the rep from the Palais, how much streaming can your facility handle if we wanted to stream, say, every single item at the convention?
So obviously not everything will be streamed because, build your own origami rocket workshop is really not a streaming type activity. But our intention is to be streaming, or I should say, make available on the internet. Now, streaming is a very specific term, but make available on the internet the vast majority of the on-site pieces. So this is part of inclusivity. There are people who cannot physically make it to Montreal. Maybe they can't do it for financial reasons, maybe they have mobility challenges, and we want to make sure that they can fully participate, whether they're in the city with us or not. So we'd prefer everyone to come to Montreal who can, but those who can't, we want to make sure that you're fully included. So there will be a lot of streaming, and we will have the tech wherewithal to make sure that the streaming is there, available, and that replays are rapidly available for people who want to participate that way.
Okay, are there any other questions?
A little bit more about the...
And our in-house Palais is using high-tech technology, so we do streaming. We've hosted Cisco, so they use the Cisco technology, so it was all hybrid and virtual. So we can do from high-tech to, it depends on what the needs are for Worldcon.
So something that makes our job there actually a little bit easier is many of the conference rooms and seminar rooms in the Palais are already equipped with the necessary cameras, microphones, and internet connections for streaming. So it makes our tech job a little bit easier than many tech teams have had.
Just want to answer part B of Tammy's question. Guest honor information is in the PR0. There's a sheet there showing who they are and all about them. It's not in the presentation just because we were retreading using the presentation at future Worldcons. Of course, we didn't want to disclose who they were during the bid process.
All right. So let me make this absolutely.
Okay.
So let me.
We are at time, and I did not
And I won't say
recognize
anything.
the
Thank you.
speaker for that question. Okay, so that does end the 10 minutes of Q&A that we have available for Montreal, unless anybody wants to make a motion to extend that time. All right, seeing none. Okay, so thank you, Montreal, for your presentation and answering questions. Okay, and we are going to move to LA, who will also have 5 minutes for their presentation and 10 minutes for their Q&A. They were not able to have a Q&A time at the Future Worldcon Q&A panel item. So if you all have more than 10 minutes worth of questions, I will probably be asking for your consent to extend that time, but we'll see what y'all actually need. Okie doke. Go for it.
All right. Am I close enough?
Yes.
All right. My name is Joyce Lloyd, and I'm the chair of LACon 5, the 84th World Science Fiction Convention. Our dates are August 27th through the 31st of 2026, and that is not Labor Day weekend. Oops. I can't work on this. Our goals are to highlight what makes LA unique to fandom and to the world around us. We have a lot of geographical stuff we want to bring forth, all the places you can go and see and do while you're in LA. That's everything from beaches to mountains to magic castles and a whole bunch more that I'm not going to actually discuss here because we have it all on our website, and this would take all 5 minutes if we went through all of that here. I want to also point out that LA is the center of film and television, the home to world-class novelists, and to writers, artists, as well as influential comic and gaming industries. We also have a rich history of fandom, and 2026 will mark the 80th anniversary of the first Worldcon in LA, and it'll be 20 years since our last Worldcon, so it's a very auspicious year for us. We are excited You can go to the next one now. We are really excited about the programming we are developing. The list here is just touches on some of the topics we are exploring. We are pleased to say that we will also be offering both in-person and virtual programming and events. If you do have any programming ideas or are considering being a program panelist, we do have forms on the website, so please take a few minutes to visit and let us know. And what is a Worldcon without guests? And these are ours. We have Barbara Hamley, Ronald D. Moore, Colleen Duran, Dr. Anita Samgupta, Tim Kirk, Jerry Sullivan, Stan Sakai, and our Toastmaster will be Ursula Vernon. We also are getting many special guests. We recently announced Tracy Drain, who is she is a flight specialist engineer from JPL. I know she's from JPL, and I know she's an engineer. She's a wonderful, wonderful program person, and you've got to go see her. We will be announcing additional special guests, not only for the in-person, but that will be on virtual only. And we're crossing our fingers because we think we have some big announcements to make in the near future. Let's talk facilities. We've got them. Our programming will mainly be in the ACC North or the Anaheim Convention Center North. That is a new building since 2006. It is fully enclosed and all ours. Downstairs will be our exhibit hall, main floor will be a pass-through, and then upstairs will be a fully programmable space. So I don't know what's all going up there because we don't know how much space we're going to use for what. We also will have the arena, and if you've seen our arena, it does kind of look science fiction-y and it's fantastic. So that is where we will have our big events. The Hilton will be our main hotel. It is also where we're going to have additional function space. Registration will be located there. And the Anaheim Hilton comes to us with $179 plus per night rate. We have an overflow hotel called the Marriott, which is right across the street. And all of this is in the same walking distance, folks. And that rate at the Marriott is going to be $189 plus per night. Now, I want to talk about Fuzzy. Many of you have already found our wandering Channel Island fox over the weekend. Fuzzy is dear to the hearts of all of us, as Fuzzy was named after a dear friend of ours. Marilyn Fuzzy Pink Niven was a mentor, she was a friend, and she was our voice of reason on many occasions. We missed her greatly, and we wanted to remember her in some manner. So whenever you see our curious little fox, remember she comes from a woman with a big heart. I have some specific goals I wanted to achieve when I took on this convention. I wanted to excite. I wanted to go beyond simply managing the expectations that you have. Oh, I'm going to go to a Worldcon, I'm going to expect this. No, I want to blow those expectations out of the water. When you come to LA, I want you to be surprised by what's around the next corner. I want to inspire. I forgot my own things. I want to inspire and champion new ideas and foster creativity. I want to continue facilitating spaces where people are welcome, safe, and part of something special. I want the volunteers and everyone to feel part of our family. I want anybody who comes in to be part of this fandom that is lovely and wonderful and embraces all of us. I want to foster the types of communication, that collaboration that brings everyone together, no matter whether they are attending in person or virtually. We are heading off into a great adventure, and we want you to join us, whether it's attending, volunteering, taking part in programming, sponsoring us. We want you all as part of our expedition. So take time to join us. Visit lacon.org. And that brings us to all the places that you can find us online. So please join us. And remember, our social media, all are LA Worldcon, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, X, or Blue Sky. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for that presentation. And we're going to move back to a time of Q&A. So we're going to start in the front in the gray shirt.
Carl Nail, he, him. You can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. For the people that have already signed up for attending memberships, has the organization gotten to the point where they've assigned membership numbers? And if so, have they gone out to, or are they going to go out to members soon?
The unique, I'm sorry, I can't talk. The unique number that is your confirmation number. It is on the actual, when you received your receipt, that confirmation number is the member number that we use.
Okay. In the front, in the black shirt, and then right in front of them in the Moby after that. So can you raise your hand again so that Glug can find you? Yeah, so first the person in the black shirt and then the person in the Moby.
Dr. Science, she, her, do you have wildfire and smoke contingency plans? Do you have military occupation contingency plans?
All right. First of all, let me address the wildfire. We are right next to Disneyland, which has their own internal fire thank you, fire station. They actually have enough area to cover anything within a, I think it's a 10-mile radius of Disney. So in where we are safe. Smoke, we will have, that will depend on the time of year. August is not necessarily our smoky time. That's actually January and February when the rains hit and the lightning strikes. So I really don't see that as an issue, but we do have the filtrations within the systems and such, as you will be inside most of the time. Remember, the walking distance between our buildings is very, very short. So if it happens, we will make sure there are masks and other things to protect you. Now, the second question. I don't have a plan because I really don't see it happening. As opposed to LA, which is the central city, that's the idea of what's everything's going to be. I really sincerely doubt that even the American government would take military to Mouseland.
So now I believe we have a question from the person in the Moby.
Linda Ross Mansfield, she, her, and hey you. I was wondering how many accessible rooms are in the, was it the Hilton was the main room?
And I actually don't have that question for you yet. The Hilton just did a major renovation of their facilities, and that's the reason we are pushing housing out to January right now, is because we don't even know what the rooms are, where they're located, or how many of anything that we have. So as soon as we get that information, we will be getting it out there through our access and through the website proper itself. So bear with us, because we are chomping at the bit too.
Okay, in the back.
Alan Bond, they, them. Have you made connections with organizations in the Global South, such as the African Science Fiction Society and the Chilean Science Fiction Society, for partnerships?
That type of stuff would go through, at this point, mainly my programming, and I hate to say this, I don't have that answer for you, Alan. Helen. Not yet. Thank you. Helen is one of my leads of programming, so.
Okay. For those online, Helen just said that she's been busy here. In the back on the edge, and then we'll start coming back up to the front.
Sean Kirk. I was just curious if LA had committed to the method of how it's going to conduct its business meeting next year.
Okay, we are actually waiting to see how the results of all of the surveys that have done here. We've got the ones from the online, but we have the paper one here today. And Linda Deneroff and I have been already started our discussions on what can we do, what can't we do, and all the various rumorations of that. But we have not made our final decision yet. As soon as we do, we will let our membership know.
Okay, thank you. You said you don't have a question now? Okay, great. So the person just in front of you, Glug.
Winton Matthews again. You said that you were still working on the rooms. I was wondering how much of a extension on either side of the con for the people who wants to go visit the area is going to have the same room rate as for the con.
I have to remember the contract real quick. I know that we have 2 days before, but I think we cut off on Monday or Tuesday after, because there's an event that comes in after us. Please, can you email info@lacon.org, and that will get to the facilities, and they have I don't have the contract memorized, so they would better be able to answer that question, and I apologize.
What do you mean you don't have the contract memorized?
What did I say?
I'm teasing you for not having the contract memorized. You're good. Okay, are there any other questions? I don't see any. So with that, thank you, LA, for the presentation. Okay, so the next item up would be 5-minute presentations from bids for 28. However, I know both of those bids don't have much or any folks here, and I haven't heard anything from them about wanting to do a presentation, so I'm planning on skipping that part unless somebody jumps up and starts yelling at me right now. Nobody is. Great. Okay. So that concludes the site selection portion of our meeting, and I believe Helen Montgomery. Yeah, you can come to the front to make your motion.
Good morning. Helen Montgomery, she, her. I would like to move that we adjourn the business meeting, insert Latin phrase that I never remember here. Yeah, that thing. So that we can be done and go and continue the convention.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, it has been moved and seconded to adjourn sine die, which means adjourning sine die means that we would be done with the business meeting for this year. Because there are no other items pending in front of us, this is debatable. I'm going to recommend a debate time of 6 minutes for this item. Is there any objection to 6 minutes? Okay, hearing none, debate time is set at 6 minutes. For those who are not familiar with the business meeting, the way we handle debate time is that means that there is 3 minutes for speeches in favor, 3 minutes for speeches against. There's no time limit on your specific speech, but the more time you take, the less time there is for other folks to make a speech. For those who have not been at a meeting that I've presided over before, at the end of each speaker, I will say something like, that was a speech in favor, is there a speech against? And at that point, that's when you can stand to be recognized. Please don't try to hop up before I say that. I won't recognize you. We're not playing the game of who has the best knees, because I don't like that game. Okay, it has been moved and seconded to adjourn sine die, and debate time has been set at 6 minutes. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
Thank you. Still Helen. I would move to adjourn. I've looked at the agenda, and while I appreciate the efforts that everyone who made those items has put into it, and I do think that they are worth talking about, I do think that they can wait until next year. Also, because we had the, in my opinion, amazing and awesome virtual online business meeting, there are so many people who were participating in that who were unable to be here today, and I feel that they should not be excluded from discussion on the rest of the agenda. And so, yes, I would like to adjourn.
All right, thank you. That was a speech in favor. Is there anyone wishing to speak against? Okay, I'm going to recognize you up in the front.
Carl Nail, he, him. This is a matter that gets a little complicated if you weren't associated with the online business meetings. There are 5 items of business at least. Is that right?
There are 6.
That did not get resolved during the time we had for those business meetings. If we do not resolve them today, then they are going to be tacked on to the business for Orange County / LA. And I know I see somebody shaking his head, so, shame on me.
I'm going to recognize John Pomerantz for a parliamentary inquiry.
I would like the parliamentarian to advise on whether or not the statement is correct that if the meeting were adjourned CDDA at this moment, would any of these remaining items
I'm going to restate, so the parliamentary inquiry is asking for the parliamentarian, technically you're asking me, and then I can ask the parliamentarian, to advise on whether or not the statement is correct that adjourning sine die would tack the 6 items that have not yet been addressed onto the agenda for LA. And I am going to let the parliamentarian answer.
It would not automatically add the items to Martin Pine, he, him. It would not automatically add the items to the LA agenda. Obviously, the makers of the motions could choose to submit them to LA. They also could choose not to submit them to LA.
Thank you. Does that answer your inquiry?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you. And let's not take that time out of, okay.
So that leaves the issue of, let's assume for the moment that they choose to reintroduce the items. If we do not resolve them today, then the folks in Orange County are going to have to resolve it there. And there was a problem finishing what we had this year on time. So I'm concerned about leaving these things to continue downstream, even if somebody has to make the effort to make it go downstream. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That was a speech against adjournment. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor? Okay. Okay, please come to the microphone.
Todd Dashoff, he, him. This is actually a request to the chair for information. If anyone else wishes to speak and has physical problems standing, how can they so indicate?
Thank you. My apologies. I should have stated that. Yes, if you are wishing to speak on an item and you are not able to stand, you can either raise your hand, or if you have ideally a piece of paper in your hand, to wave as well. That's super helpful. We did not make the speaking cards that we often have because I forgot. My apologies. Okay, so that was a speech against. Do we have anyone wishing to speak in favor? Okay, do we have anybody else wishing to speak against? Okay, I'm going to recognize you. Yep. I'm trying to treat everyone equally and not use names for people I know and not names for people I don't know.
Anne-Marie Rudolph, she, her. I submitted one of the items that would not be addressed, and it was not quite the outcome of a committee, but it was related to a committee report that was presented during the preliminary meeting. And when the committee report was presented without results, the statement was made, well, this amendment was resubmitted, and we're going to address the potential reconstitution of this committee at the time we address this amendment. So now we're going to say, oh, we're not going to address the amendment, so we're not going to address reconstituting the committee, so therefore we've pushed it out twice. So I would much prefer that we address this. This is a business meeting. It may traditionally only deal with the site selection, but that does not mean that it cannot address other business. Thank you.
Can you state your name for the microphone again?
Okay, I'm not going to be able to get this in.
That was Anne-Marie Rudolph.
I did. Anne-Marie Rudolph.
Yeah, that was Anne-Marie Rudolph. You didn't say it into the microphone. We caught it up here, but they didn't. Okay, that was a speech against. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor? Okay, how much time do we have remaining?
We have 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining for time in favor and 20 seconds remaining for time against.
Okay. Can you please bring the microphone for the parliamentary inquiry?
Yep.
Kate Secor, she, her. Mixed Chair, would it be possible, if we did not adjourn at this point, to move all of the remaining business en masse to individual committees chaired by the submitters? Is that a thing we can do?
Yes, you're probably going to need to suspend the rules to do that, so it would take a 2/3 vote instead of a majority if we did them one by one, but yes, that would be a thing that would be allowed if we choose not to adjourn. Okay. Is there anybody wishing to speak in favor? You're wanting to speak in favor of adjournment? Okay. Is there anyone wishing to speak against? Okay, so I'll recognize you.
I'm aware, I've spoken in public before. Fred Coulter. I'm against this because I think the people who submitted these motions worked really hard at them, and I think it's remarkably rude to just kick the can down the road. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That was a speech against. That was a very quick speech. I think we still have probably like 15 seconds. 10 seconds? Okay. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor? Okay. Is there anyone, are you wishing to speak in favor? Okay. If you are able to stand when requesting to speak, please do. Once again, if you're not able to, you can wave your hand or wave a piece of paper.
Thanks, Ms. Chairperson. Chris Rose, he, him. I am in favor of adjournment because the business meeting does better when we take more time to deliberate rather than less, and trying to rush through the remaining agenda items in this in-person meeting is unlikely to give them the care and attention they deserve. Those that are still relevant in a year, we can pick up at LA. Those that we have, with reconsideration, maybe decided aren't ideal, we will have the opportunity to refine them or decide not to pursue them. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. That was a speech in favor. Is there anyone wishing to speak against? Okay. And you do have 10 seconds, but you can speak against adjournment.
Hi, Kevin Black, he, him. We've got the time and the will to do it today. The people who aren't here can weigh in next year because, of course, there's a ratification year. But otherwise, time will be lost. So let's do it today.
That is time.
Okay, thank you. Time for speeches against has expired. For what purpose does the member rise? Okay, can you please come to the mic and state your inquiry?
Lisa Hertel, she, her. If we object to consideration for some of these motions, may they be brought up in a future year?
Okay, so assuming that if we do not adjourn, then if we object to consideration of the motion, so objecting to consideration of the motion kills a motion without debate if 3/4 of the body votes to do so. That only removes the item from the agenda for this year. It does not affect the ability to submit items in future years. For what purpose does the member raise their hat? Okay, yeah, that's going to be complicated enough.
Yeah, give me a second.
Jerry Sullivan, she, her. I wish to move to extend debate time either by a fixed amount or to the people who have been rising and have not yet had the opportunity to speak against.
Okay, so since we've had different people rising for different times and my memory isn't perfect, can we do 3 minutes? Okay. So it has been moved to extend debate time by, so do you want 3 minutes on each side? Chris, can you bring the mic back, please?
I would like each side at this point to have an equal amount of time.
Okay, so it has been moved to extend debate to set the remaining amount of debate time on each side to 3 minutes, so to reset debate time at a total of 6 minutes. Is there a second? Okay, it has been moved and seconded to extend debate time to have 3 minutes of debate for each side. The motion to extend debate is not debatable. It does require a 2/3 vote. So all those in favor of extending debate, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? And that is not a 2/3 majority, and so the motion does not pass and debate is not extended. So time for debate against adjournment has expired. Is there anybody wishing to speak in favor of adjournment? Okay.
Gary Blog. I want to agree with Chris Rose that we're going to be rushing through these amendments just so we can get out of here early today and we can get back to the rest of the convention. I think that postponing these amendments until next year or the next year's series of meetings would be a better idea. Also, this year, to what the gentleman said earlier, we had one preliminary business meeting online and 3 main meetings. We can always have a 4th meeting online, and we can always schedule more meetings if necessary to handle the number of amendments and items as it comes up.
Okay, thank you. That was a speech in favor of adjournment. Time against is still expired. Is there anybody else wishing to speak in favor? Okay, so the motion to end debate has been made and seconded. Is there anyone still wishing to speak? If so, please raise the hand. Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and move to a vote. Not a vote on ending debate, because y'all don't want to still debate, so we don't need to vote on that. We are moving to a vote on the question of whether to adjourn sine die, which will end this year's meeting. If that motion does succeed, y'all aren't released immediately. There will still be announcements and notices that the head table needs to make. So the question is whether to end this year's meeting. This does require a majority vote. All those in favor of adjourning sine die, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? I believe the motion carried, but I think somebody's going to call for a division. Yep. Okay. There could not be a more appropriate way to do this. Okay, so because the hand vote was close, we are going to move to a counted vote. So the way this is going to happen is when I call for your side, if you wish to vote on that side, you will stand. If you are not able to stand, you will raise the hand, and we will count off in a serpentine fashion, and Chris Hensley, our floor manager, will help you do that by sort of pointing at folks. Once you have been counted, and you will do the counting yourselves, so you'll count 1 and the next person 2, 3, please use base 10 and the standard counting that we all learned. And then once you have counted, you will sit. Is there any questions about this process? Okay. All those in favor of adjourning sine die, please stand.
I'm going to start the count on the house left here in the front corner and move zigzag through there.
Okay.
Or
We don't,
house right.
yeah, we're not going to hand the mic to every person. Just try to say your number loudly.
Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9,
10,
11,
13,
14.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing one on the side. 15,
16,
17, 18,
19,
20,
23,
24, 26,
27, 28,
29, 30, 31,
32,
33, 37.
Oh, wait, hold on. We still got the head table to count.
38?
Okay, hold on. Please let business meeting staff take care of the process. Okay, Glug was 37, so,
I didn't see that.
39?
40. 41.
okay, is there anybody wishing to vote in favor who has not yet been counted? Okay, so that would be 42. Is there anybody else wishing to vote in favor who has not been counted? Okay. Anybody wishing to vote against adjournment, please stand. And we will follow the same process.
One.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah, 4, 5.
6,
7.
8,
No, we're not that far back yet. Here's how we're going to do this.
10,
11, 12,
13,
14,
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
22,
23, 25, 27, 28, 29,
33, 34, 42,
Okay, please, no. Okay, is there anybody wishing to vote against who has not yet done so? Okay, seeing none. By 42 to 43, the motion to adjourn sine die does not succeed, and so we are not adjourned. However, we are in recess for 10 minutes, so until 11, we'll just call it 11:20 a.m., and we will reconvene at that time. There is a slide for us being on a break.
Is this
I want to
microphone
edit it to
on?
say 11:20 a.m.
Just want to make.
As a reminder for folks who are leaving because they were only here for the site selection portion, you can put your completed surveys on the back table. If you're not aware of the survey, there's a survey on the back table. You can also fill it out online using the QR code.
Good job, guys. Yeah, we actually go through this. I got at least 2 more of these. Check on but I think some house items are going to break. Yeah. Good practice. Well, get our calisthenics in. That is the one thing y'all like me does not kill us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
When recess, I can turn off the microphone.
I figure it splits the difference between we don't want to be stuck in here all day, and we don't want all of this to just disappear. And we don't. Yeah, and we don't want to screw over the people that put the work in, right? Like, is it a great solution? No, but it's a good compromise solution. It's at least worth a try.
So you're gonna do it as separate motions, or you're just gonna do it and try to do it all one off?
I'm going to try and do it all at once, and then if I have to,
Okay.
right?
Because the 2/3 is why it's like.
I sort of feel like I should apologize. I thought it was funny. Well, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I figure crap. With the motion to adjourn being that close, I'm wondering how many of them are voting not to adjourn just to not screw over the people that put the work in. Right? And this feels like a reasonable compromise between.
Yeah, it's.
Right.
Well, plus honestly, I think there are 1 or 2 of them that really need to be gotten to now.
I think there are 1 or 2 of them that could really use another year.
The problem is,
Okay,
yeah.
no, that is fair, but there are 1 or 2
And the
where I
problem
really
is
just
nobody
think
agrees on what the 1 or 2 are. And
Well, yeah.
And then I'll stay with you until we're ready to go again.
Yeah, some of these.
I mean, at least one of them is a fixing a thing that got
Yeah, but
formed.
some of these are things that if I was on our head table staff, I would reject the consideration because we really cannot discuss them in this venue. I think.
Okay, that is fair.
Productively.
That
hold on.
Yeah, that's the windows that was top of thing.
No. Well, there's a degree of, there's a complaint, and then there's
I found it quite long.
Yeah, we'll be here a while if we start enumerating.
It's more productive than Steven's.
Ahead and get started. Please take your seats. Please take your seats so we can go ahead and get started. And if we can have all of the various conversations in the room stop, that'd be great. Okay, it is 11:22 a.m. and we are back in order. Okay, so the next item of business would be setting debate times for the items before us. However, first I'm going to recognize Kate Secor in the back for a motion. If you are not, are you rising to speak, Randy Smith? No. Okay. It's sad, but it should be on.
It's pining for the fjords. Kate Secor, she, her. Mixed Chair, I move to suspend the rules and for each item of remaining business, move it to a committee to be chaired by the first listed proposer and containing the entirety of the rest of the list of proposers and any other people so appointed by the chair of that committee. Is that right? Objection. Did I get it right?
Okay, yes. Okay, so it has been moved to refer all remaining items, that's F16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 22. F21 was stricken with the passage of whatever the number was that removed the retro Hugos, to refer those items each to their own committee to be chaired by the first listed proposer, and the rest of the membership of the committee to be the remaining proposers and anybody else that the committee chair appoints. Is there a second? Okay, I hear an objection. To what are you objecting? I'm going to see what she says.
Linda Deneroff, she, her. We just voted to extend this meeting and continue the discussion. I think that's what we should do.
Okay, that is debate and was not in order. So we will be subtracting 5 seconds of debate time from the speeches against to account for that. Okay, I'm going to recommend a debate time on this of 4 minutes. Is there any objection to 4 minutes? Are you objecting to 4 minutes of debate time? No. Okay. Okay, one moment. Okay, I understand that you have a parliamentary inquiry. If you can please come to the microphone and state your inquiry. If it's... Okay, or do we need to bring the microphone to you? Okay, it's right behind you.
Right behind you, Joni.
Thank you. My husband was polite enough to ask what I was supposed to do to get your attention. Can we split the question so we do each topic, agenda item still on individually, whether we want to refer it immediately to committee and then discuss in which order we want to address the ones we haven't referred to committee?
You're right, sorry.
Thank you. Oh, Joni Brill Dashoff.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the parliamentary inquiry is if we can, instead of voting all together, split the vote. We're in a little bit of a weird situation because the motion to suspend the rules is not amendable. I do not believe that would be in order. If the motion to suspend the rules fails, then a motion that did that instead would be in order. I've been reminded by my parliamentarian that this isn't a motion to refer. It is a motion to suspend the rules and is therefore not debatable. So forget everything I said about debate time. My apologies. Is there another inquiry?
I don't know if this is going to work. Mixed chairperson, would it be in order for the maker of the motion to suspend the rules to agree to that amendment to split the vote on each of these so that we do them individually rather than en masse?
Okay, so the question is if the maker of the motion would consent to modify their motion to vote on each item separately instead of all at once.
Mixed Chair, I do not consent to said amendment because we can just do that when they come
Okay.
up in the agenda.
That has become debate, but you do not consent to the amendment. Okay. Or the rephrasing, it's not an amendment. Okay, so to be clear, where we are is the motion has been made to suspend the rules to send each item to its own committee. The motion to suspend the rules is not debatable, regardless of what the presiding officer said a little bit ago, and is not amendable, and requires a 2/3 vote. So if you are voting in favor, you are voting to send each item to its own committee. If you are voting against, you are voting for us to not do that. What we do after that is still up to you. Are we clear on what the item ahead in front of us is? Okay. All those in favor of suspending the rules to send each item to its own committee, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? Thank you. That is not a 2/3 majority and does not pass. Okay, division has been called for. Per our rules, it requires 10% of the body to want a division. Well, 10% needs to want it in order for us to do it. Can I please see a show of hands of who is in favor of a counted vote? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that is more than 10% of those present, and so we will move to a counted vote. So we just did this a little bit ago, and you all know how it works. Those in favor of suspending the rules to send each item to its own committee, please stand. If you are in favor of suspending the rules to send each item to its own committee, please stand. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, hold on. We've had multiple people count together. So Ian was 4, green shirt was 5, purple.
6, 7,
8.
9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 34.
Okay, is there any, oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yep.
35.
36.
37. 38.
Okay, is there anybody else wishing to vote in favor who has not yet done so? Okay. All those against suspending the rules to send each item to its own committee, please stand.
One, 2,
3. 4. 5. 6. 7.
8, 9.
10.
11.
12.
Pat?
13. 14. 15.
16.
17. 18. 21. 25. 26.
Okay, is there anybody else wishing to vote against who has not been counted? Okay, with 38 in favor of 26 against, that is not a 2/3 majority, and so the motion does not pass. Okay, for what purpose does the member in the back rise?
Mixed Chair, Cliff Dunn, he, him. I move that we suspend the rules that any item we do not move to a final vote today be referred to a committee as we just did, as was just moved.
Okay, can we reserve that until the end?
I will reserve that as long as it can be presented ahead of a sine die.
Okay, so what the motion is and what the member's wishing to do, just so that you all have notice, is that if we move to the point where we have to end, and we do have a hard stop at 1, which means our hard stop is a little bit before that because I still got to talk for a little bit. If we have any items that are not finished at that time, it is a motion to suspend the rules and send those remaining items to committee at that time. Okay, do I have anybody else who needs to make a motion before we move to setting debate times? Okay, I believe the debate times are listed on the screen, and so I am recommending the following debate times for the items still remaining. For F16 quorums, 4 minutes. For F17 conversion rights, 6 minutes. For F18 res plis, 6 minutes. For F19 fixed targets, 6 minutes. For F20 location revisited, 10 minutes. And for F22 end the false binary, 10 minutes. As a reminder, F21 was stricken from the agenda upon the passage of no more retro Hugos. Is there any objection to the debate times that I have recommended? Okay, hearing none, debate time is set at those items. So, for what purpose does the member rise?
I would like to move to reorder the agenda.
Okay, please come to the microphone.
Todd Dashoff, he, him. I would like consent to take item F22 first when we begin discussion.
Okay, so it has been moved to take up F22 first before F16 and the remaining items. Is there a second? Okay. Is there any objection to doing so? There is an objection. Okay. So the motion to take up items out of order is essentially a motion to suspend the rules and requires a 2/3 vote. So, all those in favor of taking up F22 first, which is end the false binary, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? Thank you. And that is a 2/3 majority, and the motion passes. And we are going to take up F22 first. This item can be found on a page of your agenda, 54 of your agenda. If you have the printed copy that we distributed, there are only 16 pages, but they are numbered in the same way as the full agenda. So whichever you have, the number I give should be correct. Okay, debate time on this item has been set at 10 minutes, and I'm going to recognize Kevin Black, assuming he wants to be recognized, for a speech in favor.
Thank you, Mixed Chairperson Kevin Black, he, him. This amendment does not make substantive changes to the Hugo categories because the Best Artist Hugo Award has been only for illustrations placed in professional publications since 1975. That's almost 50 years. It doesn't change the categories, it changes what they're called in order to make it more accurate. Illustrations in professional publications and fan art is anything that isn't that. That is my speech in favor, and I have a motion to make an amendment.
Okay, you can go ahead and make your motion.
My amendment is to strike the words "the field of" where they appear in this amendment so that it's changed to Best Artist in Professional Illustration instead of Best Artist in the Field of Professional Illustration. And further, in section 3.2, 3.10.2, after the words professional illustration, to add the words and best fan artist.
To add, okay, hold on.
Sorry, and to change the word category to categories.
Okay, so you are striking, okay.
Striking the field of.
Okay, can you tell me what 310.2 will read after you do what you want to do to it?
In the best, so Of course, there's the strikeouts and amendments
Yeah,
that are already there.
assuming your
But-
amendment and F-22 passes as amended, what would it
So
read?
basically, it adds in the Best Artist in Professional Illustration and Best Fan Artist categories.
Okay,
So it's adding Best Fan Artist to 3.10.2.
okay, thank you. Okay, so, okay, that is debate that is happening in the audience, and so please don't. Okay, so I believe Martin is trying to get this up on the screen, but I'm also going to state it for you all. So the motion is to strike the field of both times it appears in front of professional illustration. So the title of the award would become, assuming that both this amendment and F-22 as a whole passes, the title of the award, or the category, would be Best Artist in Professional Illustration. Then also in 310.2, to insert and Best Fan Artist, so that it reads, in the Best Artist in Professional Illustration and Best Fan Artist categories. So that is what the amendment is. Is there a second? Okay, it has been moved and seconded. Debate time for amendments is automatically set at 5 minutes. And so we will have 5 minutes of debate time on this amendment. Do you wish to speak to your amendment? Okay.
Just very briefly, Best Artist in Professional Illustration is more elegant and more concise, and it was pointed out to me that adding Best Fan Artist to 3.10.2 would be consistent and make things easier for Hugo administrators.
Okay. That was a speech in favor of the amendment. Is there anybody wishing to speak against? Okay. Is there anybody else wishing to speak in favor of the amendment? You don't need to call the question if there's nobody wishing to speak. So, seeing that there's nobody wishing to speak to the amendment, we will move to a vote. So, once again, this amendment is to strike the field of before both appearances of professional illustration, and to change 310.2 to read in the Best Artist in Professional Illustration and Best Fan Artist categories. Are we all clear on what the amendment is? Okay. All those in favor of the amendment, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? Thank you. And the amendment passes. And so we are back to F-22 as amended. I'm not going to say it a third time. I'm going to assume you all understand where we are at this point. Okay, we have had a speech in favor of F-22. Is there anyone wishing to speak against F-22? Okay, in the back.
Joshua Cronengold, he, him. Mixed chairperson, the previous speaker said that this makes no substantial changes. This is not true. It makes one substantial change. It removes the requirement to have 3 works to instead have 1 work, which is honestly the best part of this thing. Everything else is kind of terrible. As such, if I can, I will move to strike all of this except for that change.
Okay. Can you please, okay, so you are wanting to remove all of the amendatory text except for where it strikes should and inserts must and strikes at least 3 works and inserts work. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you also want to maintain the and best fan artist addition?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the amendment is to strike all of the amendatory text except for and best fan artist, must instead of should, and work instead of at least 3 works. So that 310.2 would read, in the best professional artist and best fan artist categories, the acceptance must include citations of work first published in the eligible year. Can you please clarify?
What is the clarification needed?
Are you wanting to keep 3 works or just work?
Just work.
Okay, so what I stated is correct. So 310.2 would read, In the Best Professional Artist and Best Fan Artist categories, the acceptance must include citations of work first published in the eligible year. Is that your intention?
That is my intention.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That looks correct to me.
Looks correct to me.
Okay. Is there a second for this amendment? Okay, it has been moved and seconded to amend F22 to strike all amendatory text except for what was mentioned in 310.2, so that 310.2 would read what is now on the screen. Amendments automatically have a debate time of 5 minutes. Do you wish to speak to your amendment?
We give out a Best Professional and Best Fan award every year. No one has a problem with giving out those awards by those names. However, there is an issue that very few people are qualified for Best Professional, and making just this change would make many more people who do professional art qualified for the award, and therefore it's a good thing.
Okay, that is a speech in favor of the amendment. Is there anyone wishing to speak against? Okay, is there any, oh, sorry. Yeah, in the back. If you are wishing to speak by just raising the hand, if you wave it around a little bit, that does help me be able to notice it. For what purpose do you wish to speak? Okay, so that is not an interruptible. If you wish to speak in favor or against, you can raise your hand to be recognized. And I know, and there was more than one person wishing to speak against, and I can't have two of you speaking at once, so I do have to pick one person.
Thank you, Mixed Chair. Kat Kerbetti, she, her. I don't think that this amendment is enough to fix the mess that is this entire situation, as proposed by the honorable member. I do think that F22, as just amended, is excellent, and we should be passing it as this whole thing, not just that. So I would say the vote against this amendment, and let's go back to the previous issue and debate and vote on that. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a speech against the amendment. Is there anybody wishing to speak in favor? Okay, in the back.
Kate Secor, she, her. Mixed Chair, I actually agree with the previous speaker that none of these amendments are enough to fix this mess. So I think we should adopt this small but good change and let the people that want to fight it out have another year to fight it out, so that we don't wind up with two things on the agenda next year that have diametrically opposed views and do entirely opposite things.
Okay, thank you. That was a speech in favor of the amendment. Is there anyone wishing to speak against? Okay.
Thank you. Joni Brill Dashoff. In 2006, John Picascio and Jared Dashoff basically had the artist categories include the 3 works, so people were not voting on memory, but in work actually done in the calendar year. So removing a minimum statement of 3 works or more erodes what we already have. What we've been trying to fix all along is how to define fan artists versus professional and get it away from just illustration. And I think the whole thing has done this, but I would like to keep the 3 works citation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. That was a speech against the amendment. Do you have a priority item in the back? Okay. Is there anybody wishing to speak in favor of the amendment? Okay. Is there anybody else wishing to speak against?
Todd Dashoff, he, him. More of a technical objection, but first of all, the way it's currently worded, you've changed the title of appearing in 310.2, but you've gotten rid of 3313, which made the change in the first place. So you can't change the title when you haven't already done so. And secondly, it says citations of work, which implies a plural, which therefore means you've dropped it from 3 to 2, which I don't think is a material change.
Okay, so are you trying to make a point of order or parliamentary inquiry?
Well, I'm objecting to it as stated. I would vote against it.
Okay, so it was just debate. I was just making sure. Okay. That was a speech against the amendment. Is there anybody else wishing to speak in favor? Okay, in the back.
Cliff Dunn, he, him. Very briefly, this does retain the old category titles. It doesn't include the new category titles, as the previous speaker stated.
Okay, thank you. That was a speech in favor of the amendment. Is there anybody wishing to speak against? Okay. So I will just remind the body that the motion to end debate does not have priority. Unlike a point of order, you don't just get to shout it out. You do still need to be recognized by the chair for the motion. Okay. So that was a speech in favor. There was nobody wishing to speak against. Is there anybody wishing to speak in favor? Okay.
Still Joshua Cronengold. The same flaw that it says work rather than at least one work appears in the primary motion before us. If that is your only objection, then we should vote on this, remove all the pointless name change, and then fix it.
Okay, thank you. For what purpose does the member in the blazer raise the hand? Okay, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. For what purpose does the member in the red shirt rise? How much time is remaining on debate? Yep, I was just about to ask.
Debate. We have a minute 40 left in this amendment, of which 110 is in favor and 30 seconds is against.
So we have a minute 10 remaining in favor of the amendment and 30 seconds remaining against. Okay. I will admit that I sort of forgot where we are in the stack. So, or not the stack, but the debate. So we had a speech in favor. Do we have anybody who wishes to speak against? Okay.
Lisa Hertel, she, her. Any professional artist that does not produce at least 3 works in a year is really not a professional artist. There's no way you can survive like that. As an artist, I can tell you.
That was a speech against the amendment. Is there anybody wishing to speak in favor? Okay, is there anybody else wishing to speak against? Okay, since nobody else wishes to speak on this item, we will move to a vote. So the item ahead of us, in front of us, is to amend F22 to strike all of the amendatory material in 3313 and 3318, and in 310.2 to remove just the title change for professional artist to professional illustration, so that 310.2 would read in its entirety: in the best professional artist and best fan artist categories, the acceptance must include citations of work first published in the eligible year. Okay, are we all clear on what we're voting on? Okay. All those in favor of the amendment, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? Thank you. And the amendment does not pass, and we are back to F22 as not amended this way, but amended to strike the field of that we already voted on and add fan artist, the thing that's on the screen theoretically. Okay, how much time do we have remaining for debate on F22 after taking out the amendment time?
We have 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, of which 1 minute and 45 is in favor and 2 minutes and 25 is against.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we've had a speech in favor and a speech against F22. Is there anybody wishing to speak in favor? Okay, I'm going to recognize Do you need the microphone brought to you?
I want to make a very, very small amendment.
Okay, that's in order.
Leslie Turek, she, her. I just want to make a very small amendment. The word in 310.2, published, now that we've added fan artists to that category, published may not be applicable. I'd like to change that to work first appearing in the eligible year, i.e. might have appeared at an art show.
Okay, so the motion is to strike in 310.2, strike published and insert appearing. Is there a second? Okay, I'm just going to see if this works. Is there any objection to adopting that amendment? Okay, there is. Okay, so I'm going to recommend that we just do 2 minutes of debate time for this amendment. Is there any objection to that? Okay, hearing none, debate time for this amendment is at 2 minutes. And so this is to strike published and insert appearing in 310.2. Does the maker of the amendment wish to speak to it any further? Leslie, do you wish to speak to it? Okay. Is there anybody wishing to speak against the amendment? Okay, what's your motion? Okay, why don't you come to the microphone so that you can tell me who you want the committee to be? Okay, I'm going to ask for the chatter in the body to cease, as that is not appropriate. Okay.
Mixed Chair, Cliff Dunn, he, him. I want to send this to a committee to be chaired by the main proposer, Mr. Black, and consisting of the other sponsors. We're editing on the floor, and that's rarely a good idea.
Okay, can you restate who the committee is? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Kevin Black to chair, the rest of the sponsors to also serve on the committee, as well as anybody Mr. Black may add.
Okay. So the motion is to refer the amendment and is there a priority motion that needs to happen? Okay, then I'm going to ask that the chatter cease. Okay. So the motion is to move the proposed amendment to F22 and the underlying F22 to committee to be chaired by Kevin Black, the membership of the committee to be the other makers of F22. Per our new standing rule, Leslie Turek as the maker of the amendment, and any other members that the chair wishes to add to the committee. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Is there a second? Okay. I'm going to recommend a debate time of 2 minutes on the motion to refer to committee that would not be taken out of the time for the Turek amendment. Is there any objection to 2 minutes of debate time for the motion to refer? Okay, hearing none, debate time is set at 2 minutes. Do you wish to speak to your motion? Okay.
I will be very brief. We are editing this on the floor. That rarely ends well. We often get things wrong. I have at least one other tweak I would like to see made. I think we should send this to committee to be cleaned up and come back in at Los Angeles. Thank you.
Okay, that was a speech. Do any of the members rising have a priority motion to make? Do you have a point of order or a parliamentary inquiry? I guess it's a parliamentary inquiry. Okay, please state your inquiry, and Chris will give you the mic.
Maramisho, she, they. Would it be in order to require that the committee include everyone who was a maker of E9 that was voted down earlier?
That would be a motion to amend the motion to refer, and that would be in order.
Then I would like to make that motion.
Okay. So it has been moved and seconded to amend the motion to refer to include all makers of E9. Is there any objection to adopting that amendment and incorporating that into the motion to refer? There is an objection. Okay. Do we feel that, okay, is there anybody who would wish to speak on the motion to amend the motion to refer on either side? Please raise the hand. Okay, I do see folks who are going to want to speak. So I'm going to recommend a debate that this is going to come out of the same debate time as the motion to refer, so it's the same 2 minutes that are being affected with this. So we're just using the remaining item on the motion to refer for the motion to amend the motion to refer. Okay, do you wish to speak to your motion to refer the motion to amend?
Yes, please.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
I think we need as wide a pool of people discussing this as possible. I think sometimes the factions are too separate. I think we need a very large group here. Everyone who proposed E9 was very involved, and I would like to see them involved in this as well. Thank you.
Okay. That was a speech in favor of the motion to amend the motion to refer. Is there anyone wishing to speak against? Okay, I'm going to recognize Linda and the Moby. Can you bring the mic, or are you, okay, we're good.
First off, I think that this wording that Leslie proposed is a very simple amendment and really doesn't affect anything one way or the other substantially.
Okay, I believe this is debate about referring to committee, not amending the referral.
Well, I haven't gotten to my point yet. My point is that we should work on this amendment, and then perhaps later on, the two committees can get together and merge their proposals, or take the best of both, or whatever. But I would like to see this amendment pass the way it is now. Thank you.
Okay, so that was a speech against the motion to amend the motion to refer. So as a reminder, the item currently in front of us is whether or not we want to add all of the makers to E9 to the committee that we are proposing sending F22 to. So is there anybody else wishing to speak in favor? Okay, in the back.
Thank you, Mixed Chairperson. Chris Rose, he, him. I'm in favor of amending it to include the makers of at least E9 because several of them are not able to be physically present here in this more limited audience for business meeting. It seems appropriate that they should be able to participate in wordsmithing their resolution. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That was a speech in favor of the motion to amend the motion to refer. Is there anybody wishing to speak against? Okay, in the back, sorry. Trying to do the thing where I'm looking at both sides of the room.
Mixed Chair, Kate Secor, she, her. I am one of the makers of E9. We give up. Don't put us on any more committees. What we want is clearly not going to happen. So let us have our time back. I've got a kid. Terry's got a business. We're fine. We give up. This is not what the body wants. There's only so many years we can fight it. We've been doing this for 10 years. We're done.
Okay, thank you. That was a speech against the motion to amend the motion to refer. I will just remind the body that we don't add people to committees without consent. So if somebody doesn't want to be on the committee, we don't get to force them to be on the committee. Okay. Do we have any time remaining for the motion to amend the motion to refer?
We have 10 seconds against and 25 seconds for.
Is there an object?
I need the spelling of the name of the maker of the motion to amend the motion to refer.
Okay, we need the spelling of your name. Can you hand your badge to, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, two badges will combine together to form the name. Okay. Is there any objection to moving to a vote on the motion to amend the motion to refer? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. So to be clear, we are voting on whether or not to amend the motion to refer to add all the makers of E.9 who want to be on the committee to the committee. Are we clear on what we're voting on? Okay. All those in favor of the motion to amend the motion to refer to add the makers of E.9, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? Thank you. I believe that the noes have it. Okay, and the motion fails, and the motion to amend the motion to refer is not adopted. So we are back to the motion from Cliff Dunn to refer the Turek amendment and the underlying F22 to committee. We have only had somebody speak in favor and I'm going to see if there's somebody wishing to speak against, because we do need to have things on both sides. Okay, I'm going to recognize in the front, Ron Oakes.
Timekeeping point. We only have 20 seconds left now. Should I give him the same amount of time?
Ron Oakes, he, him. We have been going over these, I could have done that. We've been going over our issues for years, referring it back to committees and coming back and referring it back to committees. Let's stop that nonsense and vote this up or down today. Thank you.
Okay, since the time on the amendment to refer also came out of the time for the motion to refer, time in favor and against for the motion to refer has expired. So we were going to move to a vote on the motion to refer. So this is a motion to send F22 and the pending Turek amendment to committee. All those in, and this requires a majority vote. All those in favor of the motion to refer, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? Thank you. And the motion fails. And the motion, or F22 and the pending amendment are not sent to committee. We are back to the underlying, we are back to the Turek amendment on the underlying F22. This is to strike published and insert appearing. We set debate time at this amendment for 2 minutes. Debate time on the referral did not come out of that 2 minutes. The maker of the motion indicated that they didn't wish to speak in favor. We basically had a speech against, or no, we didn't, sorry. Is there anyone wishing to speak against this amendment? Okay, in the back.
Thank you, Mixed Chair. Kat Kerbetti, she, her. I don't think that appearing necessarily fixes this. Like something appearing at an art show is presented for the general public, so it's public. It is a publication. So I don't think that this is wholly necessary at all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That was a speech against the amendment. Is there anybody wishing to speak in favor? Okay. We're bringing you the microphone.
Joni Brill Dashoff, she, her, ASFA treasurer and director of the Worldcon Art Show, which is being upgraded to online. And the change from published to appeared is exactly one of the corrections I just did in the last week to strike paperwork and change it to information. Leslie Turek's amendment is perfectly correct when we are eliminating a paper-bound source for artwork. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a speech in favor of the amendment. Is there anybody else wishing to speak against the amendment? Okay, I don't see anyone. Is there anybody else wishing to speak in favor? Okay, so we are going to go ahead and move to a vote. So the item before us is whether to amend F22 to in 310.2, strike published and insert appearing. All those in favor of the amendment, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against. And the amendment passes. And so F22 is amended to strike in 310 published and insert appearing. Okay, we are back as the underlying F22 as has been amended twice now. How much time do we have remaining for debate on F22?
We have 1 minute and 45 seconds.
And how is that split equally?
45 seconds in favor, 1 minute against.
Okay. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of F22? Okay, with the red hair and the red dress, different reds. Yes, you. Are you wishing to speak in favor? Yes. Sorry, yeah. So come up to the microphone. Sorry, I was just being clever about your colors. Didn't mean to confuse you. Oh, well, it's red from where I'm sitting. Yep, at that microphone.
I think that...
Can you please state your name?
Sorry, I'm Sunny Jim Morgan, and I believe that these are two different kinds of art for two different purposes, which is why I'm in favor of this. Professional art is art that sells something else, and fan art is art that is made for the love, and that is how the community has voted in these categories fairly consistently over the years, and I would like to see it codified.
Okay, that was a speech in favor of F22. Is there anyone wishing to speak against? Okay, you've already, okay. So I just want to make sure, okay. I'm going to go ahead and recognize you since we don't have anybody wishing to speak against who hasn't already spoken against.
Lisa Hertel, she, they. So the problem with this division is it lets out all the 3D artists, such as Vince Villafranco, who has designed Hugo bases, Joy Day, who designed this year's Hugo bases, costumers. We saw many excellent costumes last night, master costumers. Basically, any sort of 3D artist is left out of this possibility of winning a Hugo. 3D artists have traditionally been left out of winning the Hugos, and I would like to see that fixed.
Okay. That was a speech against F22. Is there anybody wishing to speak in favor of F22? Okay, in the back, in the red.
Tammy Coxon, she, her. Just a correction on the previous speaker. There's nothing in the definition of fan artist that would restrict those people from being eligible for that award. That is anyone doing 3D art that was not published in a professional publication, which you can't because it's a publication, would be eligible in fan artist.
Okay, thank you. That was a speech in favor of F22. Are we basically out of time in favor?
We're basically out of time.
Okay, so we are out of time for speeches in favor of F22. Is there anyone wishing to speak against? Okay. Did you have your hand raised and I missed it? Or? Okay.
This is more of a question to the makers or the clarification. In 338, sorry, Todd Dashoff, he, him. In 3318, third line where you say, has appeared, non-professional display. If you are a 3D artist and you are in an art show and you are putting your item up for bid, is that non-professional or is that professional? You're making money from it.
And we are at time.
Okay, so one moment. Okay, so I'm going to take that as a parliamentary inquiry. As is generally the case when we are amending sections of the Hugo section of the Constitution, the answer is that it would be up to the Hugo administrator to determine if that's the case. I don't believe that, because I don't believe there's any text in the motion that, in the change to F22 that explicitly answers that, and so it would be, okay, I'm going to recognize the maker of the motion.
This is a pre-existing text, but the parenthetical after the words non-professional display explains what non-professional display means, and it means that it does include work published in semi-prozines or fanzines, appearing in a convention or conventions, posting on the internet, etc.
All right, so I believe, to clarify, like, the current practice, I believe, has been that something appearing in the art show that can be bid on does still qualify under the public non-professional display. But final interpretation of that would be up to the Hugo administrators. Okay, is there anybody wishing to speak against F22? Okay, seeing nobody wishing to speak against F22 and time for debate having expired for speeches in favor, we will move to a vote. So this is F22 as amended. So those two amendments were to strike the field of in front of professional illustration both times it appears, to add and best fan artist before categories, well, it's now categories, in 310.2, and to change published to appearing in 310.2. And the text of F22 as amended is up on the screen. Okay, all those in favor of F22, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? Thank you. F22 passes and will be sent to the 2026 Worldcon for ratification. Okay. For what purpose does the member rise? Okay. Do you have a priority motion? So you don't need to suspend the rules to adjourn CNADA, you just move to do it. So, one moment, I want to confirm with my parliamentarian. I know. Okay, so to be clear, you haven't made the motion yet because I was just asking what you were rising for, because first I need to know, so the motion was made to suspend the rules and take up F20, location next. Is there a second? Okay, there is a second to that. One moment. I'm going to take the motion to adjourn after we handle the motion to suspend, since it's not debatable and amendable, rather than getting into like doing things in stacks. Okay. It has been moved and seconded to take up F20 as the next item. This is a motion to suspend the rules and is neither debatable nor amendable and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor of taking up F20 as the next item, please raise the hand. Thank you. Those against? Thank you. That is not a 2/3 majority, and the motion to take up F20 does not pass. Okay. Is there anybody wishing to make a motion before we move to F16? There's a parliamentary inquiry. Okay, so the inquiry is that in the virtual meetings, we moved to require, we adopted a special rule of order to require 3 seconds for an item. Generally speaking, you can only suspend the rules for a single day, a single session of a meeting that comprises of multiple sessions. And so that special rule of order is no longer in effect, and items only require a single second. For what purposes does the member in the back rise? So the parliamentary inquiry is if it is in order now for you to make your motion, and it would be. Okay, so can you state your inquiry? So I'm going to take the parliamentary inquiry first because it's higher priority.
On the presumption that Mixed Chair, on the presumption that my colleagues' motion to adjourn sine die is taken up, what is the status of my reserve motion from earlier?
Okay, so thank you. Okay, so are you okay? Well, this is a great question. Because technically, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so for those of you who are at Glasgow, I'm gonna just remind you all that just as at Glasgow, there is only one presiding officer in the room. So please just hang on, it's fine. I have an expert, I'm gonna talk to him momentarily. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but give me a moment. So, are you okay with me answering this question first, or are you wanting to advise me on the answer? Okay, well, we'll see if what I say works. Okay, so, because your motion, or Yes, it is true that you generally cannot reserve motions, and in addition, the thing that you wanted to do was about time expiring, not, like, even if that thing had already happened, I'm not sure that it actually would have been relevant to what we're doing now. However, I am going to ask if the maker of the motion to adjourn sine die would be okay with taking up this undebatable, unamendable motion to suspend the rules. So I believe that the maker is wanting to move to suspend the rules so that when we adjourn sine die, whenever that is, any items that have not yet been addressed will each be forwarded to their own committee to be chaired by the makers of that committee, or the maker of that motion, membership, the other proposers.
Correct. First maker on the list is the chair. Everybody else is on the committee as well as anybody that chair deems to add.
Okay, so it has been moved to suspend the rules so that when this meeting adjourns sine die, whenever that may be, any items that have not yet had a final vote will be referred to committee chaired by the first listed proposer and the members of the committee to be the other proposers and anyone the committee chair wishes to add. Is there a second? Okay. This is a motion to suspend the rules and is therefore neither debatable nor amendable and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor of the suspension of the rules, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? Thank you. And the motion passes. And so when we adjourn sine die, anything that has not yet been handled will be sent to a committee. Okay, and now I'm going to recognize Alan Bond. Yeah, you're good.
Alan Bond, they, them. I move to thank the staff and adjourn sine die.
Okay, so it has been moved to adjourn sine die after announcements and also to thank the staff. Is there a second? Okay, it has been moved and seconded to adjourn sine die. Is there any objection to moving to a vote without debate? Okay, hearing none, we will move to a vote. All those in favor of adjourning sine die, please raise the hand. Thank you. All those against? Thank you. And the motion passes. Okay, so we are not quite adjourned yet. We have some announcements to make. So first of all, is there somebody from the MPC who can please announce what time your meeting is and where? It's just a race to see who gets to the microphone first with the information in front of them.
Thank you, Mixed Chair. The Marks Protection Committee meeting is at 1:30 p.m. in room 322.
Okay, the Mark Protection Committee is, like he said, I went in one ear and out the other. No, you said it, we're good, and people can look it up in the thing. Okay. And as a reminder, and as the parliamentarian has put on the screen, F16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 have been referred to committees, which will be chaired by the maker of those motions. I will take a look at those items, and if there are any where the maker of them is not present, I will inform said person, but I think they're just all you. So I believe, yeah, it's Cliff Dunn, who's now the chair of 5 committees. Talk to Cliff if you want to be on these committees. Okay, as a reminder, the recordings for the this session, as well as the online sessions, will be posted to the Worldcon Events YouTube channel. If you have not had a chance to complete the survey, there is a survey in the back. Please fill it out. There are also QR codes on the survey and up here that you can use to fill them out online. If you do it that way, I don't have to do data entry, so, you know, please pick that way if you can. I want to give a thank you to my staff. They have done an amazing job over the past year, month. It's been great to work with them. I will just remind you all that at this time last year, I mentioned that we had had essentially 50 items of business on the agenda and said, please, let's never do this again. Y'all did it again. Please, let's not do it a third time. Okay. Are there any other? Yeah, no. This is not a tradition. No. Okay, it is not a challenge either. Okay, is there anybody else who needs to make an announcement in the back? Can you come to the microphone? This feels selfish, but it should be on the recording and accessibility and stuff.
I'd like to specifically thank you, Mixed Chair. I know this was a rough year with a lot of weird stuff going on, and you have been graceful and handled all of it really well. So thank you also to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, is there anybody else who needs to make an announcement? Yes? Can we bring the microphone?
This is a reminder that the second session of the mark protection.
We did that.
Oh, sorry. I think I was ecstatically typing to Sarah Felix.
There we go.
I apologize.
Okay, is there anybody else needing to make an announcement? I see in the back. Claude's just going to chase you across the room, apparently.
Thank you, Mixed Chair. Kat Kerbetti, she, her. I am the chair of the Business Meetings Study Group. If anyone wishes to join that committee, we have several subcommittees kind of studying different aspects of the business meeting, trying to think about future-proofing and kind of methods and other systems and stuff. Come find me, or yeah, just come find me at any point during the convention. I'm here the rest of the weekend. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody else who needs to make an announcement?
Dr. Science, I think I am the only person here from the Hugo Process Committee. Here. Dr. Science, she, her. I think I'm the only person here from the Hugo Process Committee. The Hugo Process Committee is trying to get a hold of the Business Meeting Study Committee and see about setting up some kind of town hall to have our reports actually read and have people, have the Worldcon community as a whole talk about them and ask us questions and consider them so that the reports don't just fall into the traditional black hole.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to email businessmeeting@seattlein2025.org, we can facilitate connecting those committees and facilitate you probably getting in contact with the LA if that becomes a thing as well. Okay. Yes.
Quickly, we should also thank our tech crew who have been keeping us heard by everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, my apologies. I just forgot to write them down on my list of people to thank, and I'm really sorry. You all have been awesome. This has been one of when you all weren't here yet, it was one of the smoothest setups for a meeting that I've ever had. It was great. Okay. I will also remind folks that, financial reports that were not submitted, there have been a couple that have come in, and those will be included in the minutes. If anybody is affiliated with a Worldcon that did not submit a financial report, you might want to remind them to get that to us so that we can put it in the minutes. Is there any other announcements that need to be made? Okay, seeing none, it is 12:24 p.m. and we are adjourned. Sure that you have vacated this room in its entirety by 12:40 p.m., which is in, math is hard, 15 minutes.
You have a minute to do now. So I think, I wouldn't raise it. Have we cut that mic yet? Can we turn that mic off?
Nope, that mic's still live.
Okay.